closest friend, which came as some surprise. I spoke into his eyes. I thought you'd die alone a long, long time ago. Oh no, not me. I never lost control. Your face to face with the man who sold the world.
make it. What?
Hello, chat. Would you steal a meme? I would steal a meme. I stole this meme because the original upload is dead. And I think my microphone is a bit too loud, so let me fix that, put some music on, and then we can continue with this shit show that still hasn't ended. Hold up. Let me mute myself for a bit, just to fix this microphone thing. Okay, I think this should be good enough. It's not peaking anymore. It's not being read, which is a good thing. So, how are you doing, chat? Are you ready for this nonsense? Because the video I just played you will probably be most entertaining part of it, unless you would find the document that we're gonna be reading much more entertaining than that. But it's just a guy kind of deflecting and throwing himself a pity party in 35 pages. So it's gonna be that. But before that, I'm gonna ask you this. Do you know the nature of VTuber scammers? Because there's a lot of those. There's a lot of those around. You've got your rigger scammers, you've got your artist scammers. Plenty of them are these half-bot operated ones. Like you'll get them once you input into Twitter the famous keyword commission or anything else like rigging, and you'll get these bots coming at you, right? And a lot of them just plain use like stolen assets getting from like other VTuber artists. Sometimes even using like very, very obvious things like Hololive models or Nijisanji models, things like that. They're everywhere. They're everywhere, and you wouldn't believe, but people fall for those. There are actual VTubers that will fall for these. Generic Wolf, thank you for the 5. I don't get why everyone's mad at this guy. He seems like a perfect Niji management material. He's given the talent 2% of the animation. 2%? With some, in some cases it's like 0% and plenty of good promises and goodwill to go along with it. But yeah, the nature of VTuber scammers is aplenty, and a lot of this, if it's not like these bot-operated accounts, it's gonna be just incompetent people doing that kind of stuff. Like, let's say I covered some dramas regarding riggers and VTuber artists in the past. There's like this one guy that took on like 20 different projects from like 20 different people, and his timeline of work got so muddled. It got so full that he couldn't complete a single one of those. So he basically scammed people by his own incompetence, and yeah, he got into a lot of trouble for that. Got a lot of tweetlongers written about him, like the usual thing when you get cancelled on VTuber Twitter. But the guy was just incompetent, and I don't think he was malicious. He just, you know, a bit too much, more than he could chew himself. But you know, it happens. It happens that you're incompetent. It happens that you're bad in business, and you just fuck yourself over. Now with this guy, with James Wicks or Wicks or whatever his last name is. Sadly, not John Wick. It's James Wicks nowadays. Now this guy could have played this much better. Like, you know, coming from someone that has thief in his blood, I think he could have played this much more succinctly, with a bit more elegance, you could say. He could have just taken the money and ran, like deleted all of his shit, and nothing would remain of him. They would have to chase him. But considering what he did with the document he released, and a few hours ago releasing one more statement to make sure to hammer in that he's gonna be involved with the law in some ways, and also still continuing to pin himself, because apparently the police called on himself for things that were false, or so at least he claims. So yeah, that's gonna be it. But we're gonna go into history of this first. But before, just one more thing before we start. Do you know when VTuber drama gets too real? Like when VTuber drama gets way too popular, for my likes at least. It's when this person comments on it. Yes, Lee Kara somehow got involved into this shit. He's not directly involved, but he commented on this with a huge fucking thread. Like, of course, shitting on the guy like everyone else in the thousands of quote retweets, in the hundreds of subsequent messages. But yeah, Lee Kara somehow got involved in this, and this is probably the moment where a lot of people would just say, nope, I've had enough. This is the crossover that I cannot accept. Lee Kara and VTuber drama. Yeah. Everyone and their fucking mother got involved in this fucking drama. It's so funny. But yeah, let's get to the boring stuff first. Like, how did this whole thing happen? Like, how did this start? Well, it all started with this Bao post. Bao, of course, very popular VTuber, hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter, and a significant amount of watchers. I haven't checked how many CCV she gets, but I imagine quite a bit. Don't watch her too much, so let's get right into that. To summarize, the beginning of my stream, I lost all my Sabaton money. I was going towards animated music videos for my original songs. The studio in question had refunded me exactly $20 to date. This is how much they owe me. So you can see the full outline of this. A total amount of $34,517.86. Jesus fucking Christ. That's a fucking whole lot. But you know, I get it. Like with popular VTubers, they will invest a lot of money into projects they are involved with. So it's their money; they can use it however they wish. But still, having this much money, like owed, like it's pretty fucking insane. Especially if you're, you know, if you're a small-time VTuber, these numbers are. This is a ridiculous amount of money to even a medium-sized VTuber. Like even someone that can make some kind of living of VTubing, this is still a huge fucking number. Well, let's continue with that. They saw this post and watched me break down from stress on Twitch. I've yet to receive a single dime. I've already said this on stream, but I'll say it again. I'm not asking my community to help me financially. I only ask that my community be understanding when I take on sponsorships to recoup the costs. I've been dealing with this quietly for months. At the center of this one person only. Everyone else, including myself, are victims. James Wicks of Studio Cell will most likely come back and be under different alias. This is, by the way, when he already deleted his personal account and only the Studio Cell account remained. So you get the timeline, because this is like May 25th above, and the post here that was 8 hours ago when I screenshotted this is like May 30th. This is already when he deleted his personal account. Let's continue. He scammed people for much larger amounts than me. Has never shown remorse. VTubers, be vigilant. People see how lucrative and naive you are and will take advantage of it. Trust your gut. He also tried to be a VTuber, so please be careful. And here's his alt as a VTuber. I don't know what happened to this, but I imagine it will be gone if it's not gone at this point. Kobito, the pre-debut VTuber, of course. James Wicks of Studio Cell will most likely come back another different alias. Okay, I read this one is already. He may also attempt to appear / resurface in Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, Alabama, and Florida nerd / anime / comic convention scenes, as he has a history of running / co-running them as well. Do you know specific names of the conventions? I know he was recently at a couple. All the conventions he attended last year are Anime Milwaukee, Komoricon, Anime Expo, Acon, Anime Central, and SakuraCon. I could be missing some smaller ones, however. The funny thing about this is I could have seen the guy because I was at Anime Expo last year, and considering like how big he was within at least what he says are his own contacts, that I imagine he had some kind of industry access there. So it's very likely that I did see the guy if he actually was at Anime Expo. I have no idea what this guy looks like. There's some pictures out there. Don't know if it's his or if it's just another subterfuge of his, but who knows. Let's continue. As someone who worked closely with him, everything Bao said is true. He used our network to solicit these scams and took advantage of everyone involved. I wish I saw the signs sooner. If anyone needs advice about how to know if a studio is legitimate, please reach out. The fact I know the dude cause he dropped my stream once and invited me to join their server, like holy shit. I was never really active there, yikes. It's fantastic to see how this guy like had his fingers like in everything. Like how many people did he scam? Like, because these are all accounts of people that dealt with him, not necessarily in like the business fashion, but at least had some contact of a minor or major kind. But still, I wonder how much money he actually stole, because like the total tally based just on people's accounts during this whole drama is like around $70,000. But I imagine the number, like the total number of people that he actually scammed is much higher. Like the number of that is much higher. I wonder how much he actually fucking got out of it. It's interesting to say the least. 10 plus stack bank transfers later, I've received nothing. You promised you'd pay me back and that you weren't stringing me along. You kicked my staff out of your group chats anytime we tried to negotiate with you. You blocked my lawyer. Where's our money? Adding the account that's already gone. How he got me. Employed under a legitimate animation company at the time. Showed me legitimate work with corporate VTuber companies. When I first inquired, he was working with trusted friends and colleagues on projects. Portfolio was backed up by trusted friends and colleagues. If you want to know how to help? Just continue to support your favorite streamers the way you always have. That means watching them, sharing their content, streaming their music, buying their merch, being understanding of sponsorships. All of these little things add up over time. So, once again, if some of you were not aware how this guy actually managed to get into these people's heads, how he managed to get in order to scam them, he had all of this prepared. When you're a scammer, usually if you're a bad one, you'll be quickly revealed based on your portfolio, because especially if you're some sort of artist. A lot of these VTuber scammers that I mentioned before, they have all kinds of different art styles in their portfolio, usually, once again, very obvious stuff they stole from other people, like Hololive stuff, Nijisanji stuff, the works. So you'd immediately guess or know that they're just trying to scam you of shit. But, if you're a good scammer, at least this guy was up to this point. You'll have a portfolio ready. You'll have some quote-unquote associates that could back up your claims. You can even show some documents to them that will make you seem pretty legitimate. Let's continue. I think he ran. Again, there's the deleted account, or rather, deactivated. He did not just run, he straight up vanished. Their account is apparently gone. Spineless jackass. Was active right before I made this tweet. Deleted his account after the call out. What a coward. Deleted all his DMs with everyone involved too. What a scumbag. I'm sorry you have to deal with this. And here's other accounts. This one's from Meriwether. I know who this is, and this scumbag who scammed Bao out of 36,000 has been badmouthing me and my studio to all his clients. How about instead of talking shit about other studios that actually deliver, you focus on not scamming your clients and actually refunding them? You can give them what they paid for. And here's Meriwether being insecure once more, with Takahata replying to him too. Well, there goes one of my big theories to who it is. I don't scam people, Tak. I hope this was meant to be a joke. I'll add an XD next time I playfully give shit, I guess, XD. No worries then, brother. Just wanted to make sure. Meriwether is the odd one. He takes a lot of things a bit too personally. I know from personal runnings in with him. I'll tell you about this story some other time. Because I talked to him about certain things that he's been dealing with over the past few months, and yeah. But this is kind of unrelated. Let's continue. I had a very manipulative experience with them. They made me feel worthless, used my name to drag my friends to their side, so they climb a social ladder in the community. I've cried day in and out because of them. Then they do this to my friend Bao. This is not okay. Hacking, hacking made me isolate myself so hard because I was forced to believe I'll never succeed or be a better person without them. They gave me false promises, they gave me lies, they even made my husband pay him for nothing. Then they say my debut that I worked so hard on with my husband was only a success because of them, when they did nothing other than use my name for their gain. I hated myself so much because of them. I isolated myself because of them. I'm so hurt by this. And here's Vienna's account. Quite a few of us were affected by this. Bao especially had suffered so much. I don't know how we can say, but to my friends out there, be careful. Even a reputable studio or a group of people can and will do this. I refuse to pay full amount upfront anymore, ever. Some background. James Wicks is someone who was employed by a legitimate animation studio and had worked to complete a legitimate project before. Both under Tonari and Studio Cell, his new project. Studio Cell, unfortunately, went under due to many of his employees not being paid on time. Well, surprise, surprise on that one. Or at all. My project was cancelled due to everyone leaving the studio. With all of this going on, he still tried to convince others he could take more work and continue to gather more animators and more clients, making many pay up front. This is how everyone got here. I'll let the other girls tell their side and explain more, but what he said was not right at all. The girls are asking for their refunds not due to their issue of quality of work, but it was physically impossible. His studio fell apart, no one was getting paid, he wanted to refund people for projects that had not even started. Where did the money go? Well, into his pocket. Where else would they have gone? You'll think that he is an animator from our tweets. He's not. He's managing teams of animators and coordinating production. I mentioned the studio falling apart due to people not getting paid. That's him not paying them. He also owes clients refunds for work that he did not have people to work on. For some reasons in VC he wanted me to pay more when he still held a good amount of money of what I already provided him. I'm glad I refused and continue on. This is Sarway's account. I paid approximately 23,000 for my 2.0 lore video, while he, on the other hand, only allocated $10,000 to the team from the provided funds. The incompetence and lack of professionalism displayed by this person resulted in the rest of the team not receiving their payments. Despite this setback, I took it upon myself to ensure everyone else was paid promptly, as the animators/artists couldn't afford to wait to cover their expenses. At present, I'm waiting to return of my $13,000 with hopes of receiving it by this Wednesday. It's crucial to note that the abysmal management of this project, combined with the constant delays caused by this individual, forced me to shoulder the responsibilities of an art director for the animation video I paid for. I had to put in immense effort and make numerous sacrifices to make ends meet. That insult to injury, he shamelessly utilized my work to promote his animation studio to other clients. And here's the receipts on that. It's a lot of money paid for a lore video. I could criticize this because who cares about VTuber lore, but again, it's her own money. Can spend it whatever way she wants, but still, 23k for a lore video, wow. And here's the receipts on that one too. He gets to look at the layout. They do this. The key animator does this layout. And yet more receipts by other people. This time by Giga. Sat in calls with you while we were hung out and you were working on your own project. Watching you sit there frustrated as you completed a lot of this work yourself meant that you couldn't create other content, and that alone lost you money and time beyond these amounts paid. It really was the worst to be in constant stress to meet up with the deadline. I had it so badly cancelling my streams for something I paid for. Gets fired from animation studio. Starts a new one and tells clients he's still with the old one who want to bait them. Overpromises on quality/deadlines. Leaks other projects and NDA info to everyone. Doesn't pay animators dip. Pretends the project is still happening. Is broke. Could go on and on, but I was getting the feeling he wasn't going to deliver at the beginning of this year and decided to just wait it down and see. I kept aware of my PayPal chargeback deadline the whole time and put the request in when it became obvious what was going on. You already made sure that anyone whose info on our products that were leaked have been informed, along with whoever is representing them. I'd also like to note that he didn't have any of us sign NDAs or contracts with him. Big mistake. And for the record, he did tell me when he was fired from his old studio. He thought we were chill enough with each other, so he proceeded to trash talk his old co-workers and companies, so I'd be super happy having his new groups of ragtag contractors that he wasn't paying. Woohoo! Yeah, you know, he had a thing going. He was already scamming people out of a lot of money, but he got complacent. He thought he had friends, chat. The scammer thought he had friends and he could overshare with them. Big mistake. Lastly, much love to everyone who've been in contact with about this. We've all been sharing our experiences and getting the details straight together for months. And some have been much more stressed than others for obvious reasons. I have their backs on this all the way. One last thing, please don't offer advice, especially legal, or start frantically looking into ways to help us. We've got counsel on the front, and we're looking to do is make sure everyone else keeps themselves safe and aware. I'm grateful that we all sniffed this out as fast as we could. Forever appreciative of you ladies. It's insane how deep it goes, and we dug deeper. I'm insanely proud of us for not falling for these empty threats and doing what dozens and dozens of people were afraid to do. He's gotten away with this for far too long without consequences. I mean, you're only publicly talking about this tip of the iceberg, honestly. Glad we all had each other to stay sane in all of this. Exactly, this is the damage he caused in a single year. Now think about how many years he's been at it. I got you girls no matter what happens. I'm glad you two could spread the word about him and that everyone has lawyers. And there's another account, this time by Captain Hannah. Back in March, I worked with Studio Cell for my Lord video. I was promised a 1.5 minute video for this amount. I pulled out of the project after I heard from the other ladies that he's not who he said he was. He's a compulsive liar, a thief, and a spineless, despicable worm. As you see in photo 3, he tries to buy his time until PayPal cannot protect me anymore. But I wasn't letting that happen. The only reason I got my refund back was lucky enough to be warned by everyone there was no lore video going to be delivered to me. I let him know his time was up and my patience has been consumed, and so I was still in the time frame of PayPal to start a dispute. You deleted your DMs, but I still have them. So I ask you, well, James, where's their money? Where's the money, man? Oh, tag you, but you seem to have deleted your Twitter. Oopsie. Everyone, please stay safe when working with people for your assets, especially ones that are costly. I was under the impression that this whole time he was a reputable source, since he was recommended good, trustworthy friends, and I should have done my due diligence. Be careful, snakes are in the grass. Sometimes, and this is a bit of personal advice when getting all kinds of assets, even I have assets. I have a lot of friends that are artists that like to gift me stuff for whatever reason. They just do. I still pay them for it, even though they offer it to me for free, because again, they put so much work into all this stuff, and it's just doesn't feel very good to leave them with nothing just by my thanks. So yeah. So sometimes even on the cheaper side of artists, you can get very quality stuff. Sometimes the quality matches of someone that's much more expensive. So keep on looking, because you may omit certain artists that are simply way better and way cheaper at what they do. And what's most important when dealing with these kinds of commissions is that the artist is very communicative too. If you want something done properly, you need proper channels of communication there. It can be just, oh, I want this, and then you wait for an indeterminate amount of time, and then you get nothing. An artist that works closely with you and asks additional questions is going to be a good artist more than not. So yeah, that's a bit of advice you have there. Let's continue. And now there's Giri's account too. Just finished stream and I'm too tired to write out a whole spiel. Along the retreat, my Lore's video deadline was delayed to oblivion. Still missing assets, and the overall experience was excruciatingly awful. Link to my video. I'll comment more once I wake up, if needed. It's crazy figuring out this is the same guy who strung along one of my in real life connections for months with empty promises. By some miracle, they were refunded, but this was for way less money than this. Everyone affected by this man gets their money back. This is wild. And at this point, we're gonna pause the statements from the people affected by this, and we're gonna get into the document, because this is where the document becomes important. Why is the document important? Because he still does some stupid shit in it, other than, throwing himself a pity party in 35 pages. He also, quote-unquote, accidentally links one of Bao's new songs in it. So yeah, let's look at the document. Hold up. Okay, this is scroll properly. Okay, it scrolls properly. I'm gonna read all of this, so be ready for some stupid shit. The response. First off, I will openly state I, James Wicks, did delete my Twitter handle when the dogpiling was en route. Mind you, he got quote retweeted hundreds of times, and the tweet which links to this document I'm reading right now, has like over 1,000 quote retweets on it right now. So in terms of like VTuber drama, this is one of the bigger ones. Even though something like Shondo getting dogpiled for making a booba joke had like 3k quote retweets at one point. Yeah, that's how stupid it got. But yeah, let's continue reading. That is my own choice, but I did not bring down the defunct Studio Cell or any other Twitter handles when this response will stay and be picked apart. But I am hitting it full on, just to clarify some information. When you retain an animator, artist, etc., typically a deposit is paid to ensure they do not take on extra work, etc. for a time period, to ensure they have money up front. That doesn't sound completely right to me, but again, I think he's just trying to start to deflect blame at this early stage of the document. Most Japanese productions do not do this or refrain from this method, but this was something requested regularly. Let's begin. First, the free businesses now brought into the fold. This may be a two-parter. Mind you, the second part will probably never come out. So now we only have this. Studio Cell. Studio Cell started a passion project back in July 2022, when artists and creators were not happy with the direction the previous employer was taking the company. I joined Tonari after selling my print company and come on as the chief marketing officer. Jared and I have our differences, and we have had our discussions about falling out and that occurred, and that we should remain sealed unless otherwise open. Studio Cell had a large opening investment that allowed early on to try to aim for higher wages and big pushes into projects to really pump out a name out there. Starting up is not easy, and I did drop the ball with maintaining a payment system that works successfully, and currently there is a legal filing for the breaks in NDAs that led into the current situation. In total, we spent over 70,000 on artists, music, etc. early on. Connect VT. Connect VT was the earlier predecessor to Studio Cell, also started in 2022. It was primarily focused on connecting artists and other talent to others in hopes of allowing large talents to have a direct connection animators. Directors and pretty much anyone down the line that we could assemble through Discord to allow a central location for multiple talents. Managing things through Discord is hell. I know of this. I'm part of companies that have it on Discord, and sometimes it's really hard to coordinate people on it, especially when scheduling comes into mind. But again, that's neither here nor there. It's just an anecdote. A co-founder placed in $2,000, and I matched with $2,000 with that closing and the legal bout happening. The $2,000 is being returned to its rightful owner, who I don't wish to drop unless they see fit when legal matters are resolved. I'm not sure how any of this is relevant to his current problems, but I guess he just likes to talk about himself. Sawacon. I have zero idea why this was included, but since a Twitter post wants to shame me for conversions, so be it. Sawacon is a small anime convention that started in 2019 in Covington, Louisiana. I have a few others and has successful history in running conventions and building relationships with talents over the years. Again, not sure how relevant, other than, you know, at least he's trying to seem legitimate, but it's kind of failing at this notion. We found it at most conventions do, friends and passionate people wanting to shake up the scene. There's nothing in relation to anime works at Sawacon. Studio Cell. Studio Cell has a lot of early bumps and headaches, and a good amount of them are on me. We'll start in October 2022, officially on the books, but early investment from not only founding members, but an investor that had reached out from my prior service in the military. We took on 3 initial clients: Onigiri, Nemo, and Girl DM. If you go to Studio Cell's Twitter right now, Onigiri is even mentioned as one of his first tweets there. I think it was in January of this year, something like that, or maybe even earlier than that. Onigiri was sent 5,000, being a more intensive project that began in October of 2022, and because we wanted it to be great, we pushed in a massive amount of money to make sure something solid was delivered. A critical mistake on my part. I did drop the ball. I will not lie, there were many things that started too late and were not put in the right order of production that caused a lot of headaches for a lot of people, including, most importantly, Kuri herself. The final product that was delivered for the animation, linked to the animation, which we're not going to be watching, was not good, with scenes needing complete reworks that one animator alone took on fixing, most of them hiring out the other animators to correct and fix them due to internal disputes. Mind you, the disputes that this guy was supposed to be managing, so yeah. My communication on the delivery date was shit, clearly shit, with the expected delivery date by Kuri by the end of February 2023. The final being delivered March 2023. With even more corrections needed, it took till May 2023 to deliver an acceptable final piece, including and scrapping all current sound design / music. You have 3 assets that have to be turned over at starting, be right back, and ending scene. Mind you, as again, for the money I was invested into that sort of thing. Smaller creators would have done it faster, even those I know, and probably for less. Nemu was the secondary project that began on October 25th, 2022, focused on departing a new outfit and telling some backstory for Christmas for a total of $2,500. I hired out and paid several board artists and animators to begin the project. But we did not meet the deadline, and I reached out to Nemu to extend the deadline with an expansion budget out of behalf to compensate for the late run and give more lore to the initial plot. The deadline being for spring, May, and a new director being brought on to help push it forward with a complete storyboard rework. Girl DM began October 2022 and ran congruently with the production of Onigiri. And mind you, once again, this is already when Onigiri's project was in trouble and they weren't delivering the quality that was promised. And they're still taking on another project on top of that, so incompetence, or based on other accounts, probably malice, trying to extend those deadlines, especially if all of these guys paid via PayPal, so they couldn't dispute it after a specific period of time passed. Being a smaller project to revamp notifications, backgrounds, and more, the deadline set for in-house was end of 2022, and we had not had in stone deadline set due to being a general rework and not finalized period. Studio Cell associated projects. Sarue began on November 6, 2022 with a very rushed deadline that was conveyed by Sarue. Though the studio could not support a direct project, we outsourced and brought in animators the third party to assist and direct the project. To no fault of her own, Sarue had conflict with the director of Peace after storyboards were extremely delayed and created so much frustration that a verbal argument broke out. I'm not surprised. I had personal dealings with Sarue back in the past, way before she was a VTuber. This is on point, and despite all of the things that this guy says, I do believe this is true. Also based on her past behavior, also as a VTuber. So, this is something for you. If Sarue ends up in any sort of drama in the future, do not be surprised that she does. She has a very vitriolic personality, and it gets her and other people into trouble too. But again, this is not a stream about Sarue this time around. We continued, and Sarue suffered through a lot of headaches with her production, artists not meeting expectation, and direction not being listened to, and artists not being able to fit with the scheduled timeline for hire. She herself became the art director and director of the project to ensure that the quality was being maintained. This included a personal investment offer of $8,000 to make sure to meet the expectation on behalf of the team involved. We began payouts on her project in early March 2023. Giga, like Girl DM, had a simpler project that involved updated graphics and changes to on-screen assets that totaled $7,200 with a $3,600 deposit. Expected deadline was spring 2023, with no concrete deadline unless driven by production. Vienna began on February 9, 2023 with an expected delivery at the end of March 2023. This involved multiple different assets that were related to starting scenes, to starting screens, notifications, etc. with a $2,500 budget. total, and an additional asset request of February 20th, 2023 at $650 with $325 deposit. Captain Hana debuts assets and other short video that will start on February 21st, 2023 with a total budget of $5,000 with large assistance from the studio to ensure it was up to par. A deposit of $2,500. Connect VT projects, Bao Group music video and personal music video at a cap total of $40,000 with principal deposit due to error of $15,000. That though the original deposit amount of $7,500 was accidentally double paid, return failed and the difference rolled over into credit for the project. With all of that listed, let's get into it. As listed above, 2022 projects were having their own headaches. Animation production is not easy, and if anyone says otherwise, they would be lying to you. Well, you know, before you take on projects with such huge monetary investments into them, perhaps make sure you're competent enough to handle them first, but you know, I don't think that was ever this guy's intention. There are schedules, deposits, taxes, and much more that goes into every waking second of production here in the USA. Oh, so you're saying it operated like a business. What a surprise. Sometimes we cannot find animators for the job, sometimes animators requested by the clients are not available, and sometimes you just gotta bear with it and get it done, and many times we have hit a snag that has ended up punishing a lot of people. But this is your fault though. The big one, Bao. When he started the project in December, it was a rush to lock in artists that could work with that we're currently free to jump onto the project. None of the contractors from Studio Cell were approached or given arguments as at the time was run through Connect VT. I began the manhunt to build a team that would be available to work on the project, and once we had everything we needed, I communicated clearly with Bao that we needed lyrics to move anything forward and was the direction from the director at the time. The initial direction of the project was changed completely from its original state. And here's some recipes by the guy, apparently. One thing you can do too is that you have a list of cameos. Post that too. Hope you have had a good weekend. Please take time to review the deposit invoice I sent. Also remember to also be looking over your music for Tuesday's meeting. Again, I pressed you to death. Let me know. You good? So that server post. Hope you're doing okay, Bao. Sorry to be annoying with another poke. If you can for Tuesday, please be sure to also post previous materials you had shared with Beast in the server. Yes, I will be prepared for Tuesday. It's good on reminders. I think a reminder before day of the meeting is fine. Not a problem. One reminder it is. Hey Bao, hope you're doing good. Just wanted to touch base and make sure your calendars are aligned for the holiday period. I'll be out of office 21st through the 28th. I'll still be available mobile if you had anything at all. Hi, so how are you doing? As for the VTuber group, we are continuing with myself, Tsukimi, Snagi Yuzum, and Vienna. It's not the same group as we disbanded due to lack of bandwidth for such a huge project. But this stays between us and Beast. Indeed, everything you tell me is in the vault of secrecy. that secrecy is gonna disappear very soon in the same fucking screenshot. As for my MV, I fell into a bit of depression hole and had to take a break for it. I'll be able to resume after New Year's, however, between January 9 to 13. I'll be making a big move across states, but other than that, I am good. Sounds good, do not worry, haha. We've been silent working on our side, mainly building the team roster and working on soft concept based on music. Anything you could work on without bugging you, haha. Sorry, I fell into that hole, been there plenty of times myself. I do hope that cloud lifts for you and does get easier. And then she links that song that was supposed to be a secret, and the guy put it in the screenshot and posted it with the link. Oh, congratulations. You leaked the song. That's supposed to be leaked. We do not have much runway to build much from without the lyrics, and this was conveyed that we need those lyrics to move forward. All the while we were reaching out on Twitter, establishing relationships with animators, etc., including paying a larger retainer for those in waiting. We could never get a meeting aligned to progress forward, and with the expected delay from January 9th to 13th, I began an all-out push to get foundations laid so this project could move forward in any direction and keep people off work schedules. Yo, just need lyrics and vocals, easy peasy. This is gonna be a good, haha. 2. Putting an animation on top of this when it's got its lyrics / vocals is gonna be insane. Yippee. Biggest thing for 5 minutes on the one is sitting down with your group and making sure you're all in the same plane for the budget, style, etc. Okay, sounds good. I'm free after tomorrow. Sounds good if you want to do group chat or fast meeting. I'm pretty much free all week. I'll say big group projects would be wise. We get talks started at ASAP. How about 4 p.m. PST, PST the 30th? EST, oops, tomorrow works too. 8 p.m. EST. Tomorrow would be perfect. 8 p.m. EST tomorrow it is. Yippee. Side note, I do hope the holidays were good. I do have a stream from 5 to 8 p.m. EST, so maybe 8:30. Is that okay? Sorry, just remembered how long it has to go. That works for me. Still free? Yep, still in the server right now. Okay, 1 second. I want 30 minutes before I got a yeet. Again, you know, showing that you communicate is, you know, part of the thing that you need to do as a professional when giving updates on projects. But you know, blowing smoke up someone's ass is something that anyone can do. But delivering the goods is just something completely different. Okay, I cooked something up. Kind of weird, kind of messy, kind of crazy. I was thinking of everything, everywhere, all at once when I wrote this up. Not sure I've seen it, but it's a movie that kind of elicits the feeling of fast-paced internet consumption to the point of feeling positive or negative nihilism about the world because of too much internet. I tried to combine our elemental themes with the internet since the song is EDM. Oh yeah, I've seen it. Damn, you work hella fast. Haha, I like it. Let me take a look. Okay, this is gonna work great, in my opinion. Yippee. Yeah, I think we can be epic with this setup. On December 29th, we're given a general direction focus for the video. Okay, this is gonna work great, in my opinion. Yippee, I think this can be epic with this setup. Yay. This is a good example of the power you can get out of using stills and simple animation, by the way. We began discussing styles and approaches. Damn, that effects. Sheesh, you got a good execution of a mix of it. Yeah, I agree. So that's the type of stuff we can push for when it comes to stills, making basically animated, but making it fucking look sick as shit. Frankly, the guy, I think, is just kind of trying to, you know, gas himself up as someone with at least a bit of knowledge of the animation industry and, you know, certain trends on the internet when it comes to music videos and shit. But he comes off as just kind of like a weird, cringy guy. These aesthetics are cool. Doesn't seem like a professional when talking about any of this. Like, no, it's something I would be talking about in such a manner when I was talking about music videos and such. But as a professional, sure doesn't seem like it. Because there were multiple projects from one person, we need to establish a design style for each video. Oh, you know, I really like Chainsaw Man's ending. Links it. Links more examples. Their endings are fire. Your Desert Plants is fire. Same with Everything Goes On by Porter Robinson. More examples of videos. Yes, so pretty. Shelter is another great one. I like the look. The animation is a bit cheap. It's indie. Yeah, for sure. Really good good storytelling though. Not shitting on them, just work within their budget area. I'm excited for both of the videos. LOL, this is gonna be hella crazy. Also, who I'm gonna be in contact with for the deposit stuff? OPE. I was put in contact with her accountant for further sure deposits were taken care of. Where the issue occurred that the payment was issued the wrong bank account. We attempted to correct it unsuccessfully because everything was operated through PayPal Business. Let me know if that invoice was right. I'm gonna aim to lock in background and key animator. Would you like portfolios or do fine with just the credits lists? Or yeah, fine with just making sure you have tip-top people. I trust you. Big mistake. Big mistake. Oh man. Aye aye, Captain. Thanks, I promise none will be shit. Famous last words. Hey, I accidentally paid with the wrong bank account. Is there a way to reverse that the invoice? Oh shit, yeah, 1 second, 1 second. Sorry. I refunded, but let me make sure it pulls it out. Got it. Awesome, okay. We issued a refund to correct the issue. I did not got through, so we applied it as credit, which was coordinated with her account to apply the overall balance of the production. Anything I need to do right now? That's time sensitive. Group references, big time. Like everyone's character sheets. Got the story, but gotta show the animators y'all's character art. Beast should have those already. KK, I get them. You're good though. You already smashed out the feel/story for the MV, so really it's in our hands to get the talent boarded. UP. Everything I provided was sent over to the director, and the director conveyed that we still need lyrics were discussed with Bao. I'll be available after the 15th because I'm moving. Oh shit, no worries. I was wondering about that, lol. I had it on my calendar too. I'm super sorry about that. I was looking at the account and was like, what the fuck? Hi, I'm back. I kinda died, lol. Lol, I'm glad. Yeah, okay. 10 out of 10 Scooby impression, by the way, so welcome back. The recruitment game is good. I got everyone needed before they got booked for the next year. I have been meeting about efficiencies and production speed we gotta hit, etc. The boring shit. If I was giving someone details about, you know, their videos they're paying thousands for, I wouldn't summarize the work I'm coordinating with my staff as the boring shit. I would get into so many details. The client would be satisfied, but again, the guy doesn't feel like he needs to do that. He just summarizes it as the boring shit. The big thing we need from you is we gotta lock in the lyrics and music you want to use. Discussing what we can update so far, and we still need. Okie dokie, wanna schedule a meeting? Absolutely. What the daytime works best for you? What about Monday, 1:30 p.m. PST? Works for me. Hey Cody, do you think we could schedule today? I don't think I'm gonna be back in time for my doctor appointment. It's tomorrow at 2 p.m. PST. Possible? Absolutely. I'm at your call. Works great for me. Thank you. So sorry. No, haha. You are the client. I am on your time. Haha. Failed attempt to schedule a production meeting due to scheduling conflicts. And you couldn't reschedule? I mean, once again, this is thousands of dollars we're talking about. This is not something, oh, we failed to schedule. I guess that's it. Everything okay? I'll be here all day if you return. I just woke up. LOL, not a problem. Wanna try again for tomorrow so you have time to wake up and not rush around? Yes, no problem. Tomorrow 2 p.m. PST, yes, no problem. Meeting missed again due to scheduling conflicts, and we just have to believe that it happened. Still good, or you're resting? It's okay if you move the meeting to Friday 2 p.m. PST. I completely forgot to reschedule, so today is filled up for me with the tax meetings. Absolutely no problem if that works for you. Still good for meeting at 2 p.m. PST. Checking in. Hello. Okay to meet. Yeah, we don't. Where do you want to do a call? Called and spoke about the meeting in the creative production server for her and her group. Hey Bao, sorry to bug you, but just touching base on the lyrics. Today the schedule for Sunday this week is really swamped for me and I haven't gotten into it. Sure, thanks so much. No problem, hi, it's your art, so definitely don't want to pressure you. See, Bao made one mistake here, which kinda, you know, spiraled into something else. She gave the guy too much room to wiggle himself out of it. When he saw that she has problems scheduling stuff, or at least, you know, based on what he shows in those screenshots that there were problems with scheduling. She's basically giving him the way out of this one. Man, another attempt to get a meeting scheduled for lyrics. Hey Bao, hope your weekend's been good. Just checking in. Just checking in to see if you had a chance to take a look at those lyrics. Hey Bao, hope you're doing okay. Bao, you good? I haven't heard from you. Just want to touch base. Just checking in to see how you're doing, Bao. Bao, hope you're okay. Hey, sorry for being ghosty. A lot of stuff happened and we're sort of changing our gears. A lot with our direction of the group, but that doesn't change the idea of the music video. The music video exists as a separate entity of what group represents, if that makes sense. This is where the radio silence occurred. For nearly 4 weeks from the prior communication, I attempted to touch base often as possible to ensure the project moved forward. Reminder here, we still have a staff built and retained waiting for this project to go forward. Then we learned March 8th that the project changes gears and anything worked on is scrapped. Hey, sorry for being ghosty. A lot of stuff happened and we're sort of changing our gears a little with our direction of the group. But that doesn't change the idea of the music video. The music video exists as a separate entity of what our group represents, if that makes sense. Gotcha. Just a fun, cool music video to supplement our debut. Yeah, easy peasy. We're going for a more easygoing, cool friend group type of thing, but we also drop bangers from time to time. LOL sounds like an easier game plan. Yeah, I was kind of big sweating with that being the way we're approaching things because I wasn't sure how it would affect our plans. Yeah, I don't want it breaking any windows for sure. Yeah, really sorry for dropping the ball again. I'm literally just going to churn these lyrics out now. No, Bao, seriously, haha, we chill, we got everyone all chillin'. And for most animators are fans of your work, of yours, so they gotta wait till so you jump, haha. I get to work on Bao project, oh shit. Has there been any art stuff happening yet? We're good on that, right? Like, I'm not too late to change gears type thing. Nothing that can be changed, seriously, like we can scrap pretty much anything in the wireframe at the moment so it won't kill anyone. That already kind of seems suspicious if they have something, or at least have something lined up. So, like, I'm thinking we could just hold off on the gear animation and get swapped with this project with Numi and Shy Lily. The lyrics and vocals are there, I just need to script for each girl, and we record. We finally get the lyrics to begin any sort of project in relation to any music, to any of the music videos that have now changed. So all pre-planning is scrapped and we begin again. Okay, so we easy peasy ice the group and shift the budget and team into this collab. And what about the personal one? The song is just about parasocial e-sex, like literally think Treasure by Marine Hosho. LMAO, LOL. The song doesn't even need plot, it's just sex. But the like the lyrics are about RGB lights and stuff, like computers, high-tech stuff. LOL. If this is the case, what do you need from me? I've got the lyrics, I've got the music, and I got the talent involved. And all three of y'all singing different parts. I think what you said they were earlier. Yep, making the script right now. If you can't get a hold of me, join the server and introduce yourself. He's in Japan, so he's probably just waking up. Shalette is my manager. Well, this new group, or like just for music? This is for my podcast group, which comprises of me, Shay Lily, and Numi. Nice. That's who is in the MV. My girl group members stay the same, that's fair. You can use the funds I've sent you towards this project, we call the Bikini Bottoms. The other girl group has no name yet. It's a play on words from the SpongeBob, our logo draft, basically just a combination of our OC elements. Lily, Orca, Numi, Demon, me, Whale. Discussing the group name, who's changing what. So this can basically get started on ASAP, whereas my other girl group is moving kinda slow and I don't want to waste time. I don't blame you. Yeah, we'll jump right on it already. Director mentioned up to speed, gonna see about meeting him on Friday. Finally, we get everything off the ground. I meet with director Friday the 10th, and he wanted a meeting with the entire client team. When it would be a good time to meet you? Lily, Numi, and director this week. Oh, this week might not be possible. The stream awards are coming up, and I think the girls are attending. Oh shit, I'm also out of town, LMAO. Good point. Let me ask. To be honest, I think we're better off meeting with just me, and I really relay any action items for them, since most of the time these projects are super hands-off. That works for me. Was just concerned if they had ideas for their own sections. Oh, not really. Mostly me and the producer. We can call it with and ask. Well, that makes life easier. LOL. Director wanted to meet the group and discusses the happenings for the project switch, so there is a clear understanding. The producer, Univer, is joining the MV server. Aye. I'll give them a good roll in the morning if that's cool. Sure thing. How soon do you think this MV could be started on / worked on / released? Just a rough approx would be great. Well, I can answer confidently for started on pretty fucking quick. Second famous last words. I meet the director tomorrow, then director can give me a better answer, but for 6 months BHT let director give the final. Yes. Okay, the producer said any day at 12 p.m. PST works. I'm free until Wednesday. Sounds good. Haha. Sorry, sleep got me. When I do Tuesday, March 14, 2023, 2 p.m. Communication on several roles and the director wanting to meet with the entire lineup. Tuesday, March 14, 2023, 2 p.m. Just confirming we are still good for this meeting. I was recording all night. LMAO. I'll be awake. LOL. Holy shit. Well, we need to set it up much later, David, so you can rest. There's a lot of meetings going on. Not a lot of work going on. It's all meetings. It's okay. Aniver is in Sweden, so it's best time for him. Alrighty. We'll be fast so you can get rest then. Haha. You know what? I will definitely reschedule. LMAO. LOL. I'll let you know when I'm alive. Yes, good. Please get some rest. Haha. Make sure the client is not stressed with meeting times previously set. What does it point to when you're just accommodating the client while not intending to deliver any work and then not issue any refunds? I mean, sure, it shows you're quote-unquote professional and you care about the client, but you know, the fact still remains, none of them got the work done by you and they didn't get any money back, so all of this is moot. Oh, and director, I'll be at WeepCon. He said y'all have met before. If you have the time, would mind saying sup. Nice, we'll be there midday on the 7th. Damn, they're only bringing you out for 1 day. That's just when I get there. Oh, gotcha. Well, we'll be there on the 6th, so we happily get food for all their friends. Pog, ooh. Could we do our meeting next Tuesday, same time? Sure. Shouldn't be a problem. I'm giga swamped. I bet you are. Honestly, I'm fucking impressed how you'll keep it all going. We have the micronuclear reactor for energy or something? It was the final communication before disaster strike on the 17th, 2023. I had been at war with Kuri production team from Studio Cell and broken NDAs that caused massive client distrust with Kuri project. And she said wars that broke up due to company issues for Studio Cell and related projects. The Bao production server was empty, my communication blocked, and that did me in. Want to reiterate, the Connect VT was not affected, not bailed within Studio Cell. All the Connect VT funds were with separate bank from PayPal due to switching. To Mario what the client is requested, at the holding balance, Mercury is holding back, and the primary bank account was used to separate project budgets. The cool LT2s, thanks for the $2. Has AI ever done an art scam similar to this? There were some competitions that had AI art win, and there was a huge controversy involved in that. But this had nothing to do with VTubers. But there were cases where AI art has caused that kind of controversy. So yeah. Money was involved with these art competitions, and AI art won 1 or 2 even. So yeah, there were problems with that. But yeah, let's continue on with this thing because we're almost done, and this guy is just explaining his part in all of this, and that there was a problems internally with the production teams. With the productions in swing from 2022 and going into March 2023, I did not cope well with what was going on. Studio Cell had fallen apart and a lot of money was spent over the Onigiri production period that did not meet the expectations of the client and was not showpiece the studio instead it was. Previous members of my studio reached out to clients expressing they had not been paid, which is untrue, violating NDAs and breaching agreements between them and the studio, which is currently in legal dispute. And with the disease I'm currently fighting, the business collapsing, and the failures of my own not delivering a stable product, clients now being told the animators weren't paid outside of studio sales projects, and stuff from my history, I attempted suicide the early morning of March 18th, 2023. Getting out of it won't give anyone's money back. It was extremely stupid, not fair to anyone or anything. It was mental health disaster. If I ever been involved with mental health situation, you would know that your communication is broken off. I had time to let my parents know and whoever I could hit up on Discord before my personal belongings were taken away. I could not contact any client who I was working with, and that is my fault and not mine alone. I could not contact Bao, I could not defend myself from the animators I was separating from. I had already paid a significant amount of money from separate production and slammed me into a wall. I was released on March 22nd under supervision and released the 24th completely. I had to begin communicating and working with customers in that time frame to ensure funds were returned appropriately on time while making sure current payments that were issued were not halted for completed work. Say there was negotiating is not true. I was ambushed by legal representation, an accountant I had been directly communicating with for Bao. Mind you, Bao and someone else also mentioned that the guy blocked communications from lawyers, so it's their words, it's his words versus their words. I did not get her funds back to her appropriately within the first week of being out of the hospital. There is no excuse for that, but in the following weeks, I maintained constant communication directly with Bao, gave access to my account to my legal representation, and again attempting to work with Mercury, Bao, as well as return Sarway's funds. And Wise to start returning funds, which became a hurdle onto its own, as Wise has its own limits per day. And security flags, I had also running projects that are protected bouncing off that as well. As of May 23rd, we had zero contact outside legal terms. Once again, mind you, Bao mentioned that the lawyer was blocked. Currently, I have turned over everything to the lawyer, including all attempted transactions, all wire, Mercury discussions, and more. It's taken an extremely long time to sort anything out, and yes, that is not great, but I remained in constant communication with Bao and maintained a full discussion with her at all times, including direct phone communication. Any invoices or information pertaining to this dispute will be not shared publicly until further is advised. I don't know why he gave access to the funds that were supposed to be returned to his lawyer. That's not how it's supposed to work. Should have just returned that shit once they asked for it. This is just a huge fucking deflection. Sarway's love project. Sarway's love project was a living nightmare from beginning to end. Deadlines crushed and outside help hired by me directly without impacting her. There were conflicts between us, conflicts between artists, directors, and much more on schedule, and finding people that had the time frame to work when artists repeatedly got cycled in and out of the project. She did not pay 23,000. She was quoted 16,000, 20,000, and I backed her project at the time with an additional fund of 8,000 to increase it to 28,000 as of the issues that had occurred with the director and changes with animators. That was dropped when I was removed, leaving the principal 20,000 remaining. At the time of my removal on the project on March 23rd, 2023, I had begun the process of ensuring that my exit was clean as could be. Any outstanding funds were not in the process of being returned. I had to clear multiple problems on May 26th, 2023, we were able to resolve it with information after legal from my end and account settlement sent directly by Saturday. Before I entered the hospital on March 18th, we had begun payouts for productions and began checks of all cuts directly with the animators and prices agreed as the production was messy. Here's the money. Paid, one cancel. At the time of my medical situation, this was there we were beginning the project payout. Sarai did have access to this and was checking with artists and animators as well. An agreed amount has been processed successfully. Statements made between both parties will be posted in part 2. It's a lot as well. That's never gonna happen. Isn't scamming bad? Isn't scamming others bad for mental health? Well, his health, at least. But, you know, considering how much money he cost them and that money is still not returned, I think they're in a worse position than he is, because he is in charge of that money at the moment. He's still holding on to it, you know. Vienna asks, and I spoke on March 17th, 2023. I reached out to Vienna having heard the project were now being impacted as a direct result of the Studio Cell incident. I understand people are coming and talking to you, and I want to make sure you realize my side. I'll be happy to return your funds until everything is settled. And from what I know, everyone involved has exited my project. Based on that information, I don't think we will be meeting the deadline. So the only course forward I see is a refund. I would like to see the process as soon as possible. I don't really care about sides generally. I'm devastated that this happened. I need to focus on my other projects. If you'd like to help, you can send me the files and the refund minus the price and you paid for the files. Otherwise, just refund. Let me know when this can be organized. As soon as possible is preferred. I'm glad that Vienna, unlike Bao, at least what was shown in the screenshots by this guy, is very direct with the guy and just demands the refund without, you know, any other pleasantries, so to speak. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, both refunds have been clicked, and I'm not deducting what I'm paying them. I received them. Thank you. Sorry for the stuff that made you lose confidence in me and the studio. All assets were turned over as I agreed and were later used in finals for her debut. A refund was issued, but I was not of mind to approve of the morning of the 18th. It failed. I'm sorry. I was fucking out of my mind on the 18th, so the refund failed. Sorry, I just had a lapse of that judgment on the 18th, so I failed the refund. On the 24th, when I was able to completely get everything back in somewhat order, she was completely refunded for her project. No funds were taken for assets released. We did have to redo it because it went through services, not friends and family, but it was done within 30 minutes. Vienna has received the full amount and files today. Captain Hannah. Due to the project's age, there was no art files to turn over. Both refunds were processed within the same time frame, with one delayed a few days after my hospital release. On me, not her. All the funds to date have been returned. Girl DM, Giga, and Nemu have reached out to, either with a reply or not, turned over art assets if they were in a stage to be turned over as requested. Though we continued production on these projects or funds have been stated to be returned, all funds are being returned proactively and they will be updated here. Currently, I have turned over everything to the lawyer, including all attempted transactions, all wire Mercury discussions, and more. Again, should have refunded immediately instead of handing over funds to a lawyer for whatever fucking reason. I don't know who does that. It's like you're already expecting legal issues to be happening based on that. Imagine if he had cheese pizza on his computer and this is Sam Bankman 2.0. That would be fucking devastating. That would be one of the biggest fucking VTuber dramas out there. If he actually had cheese pizza along with this stupid shit that he's doing. Again, based on all of this, just a lot of incompetence, a lot of what I would construe as malicious intent being masked by, these attempts to deflect based on mental health. But yeah, we have one more section to go, I think, and this is the conventions one, I think. I have zero idea why this is being brought up. I have run multiple conventions, helped on conventions, been part of conventions for a long time, and never once have acted outside the manner of which I was assigned. Not once I have withheld payments to voice actors, artists, performers, vendors, anyone. We have always worked closely with them to get their funds returned on or agreements honored if there were holdovers from 2021 pandemic. Coming into 2022, the convention I worked with directly, Sawacon attempted to dust itself off and come back to life, but did not go as planned. We reached out to the community, made sure holdover tables were refunded as requested, including some continuing to hold for 2023, and kept everyone informed of the changes. Sawacon did not have a good start in 2022. In 2020, when within 4 months our convention space was literally bulldozed in Confington, Louisiana. The replacement turned into the Senior Living Center in New Orleans. 2020 Sawacon was held in Airport Hilton in New Orleans. But the only issue occurring when the huddle had not informed us of a liaison had quit. The issue was resolved on site. He over-explains things that didn't need to be explained to this detail. I don't know why any of this is mentioned, because his appearance during conventions was only touched upon by some people on Twitter. Like, does he feel guilty about some things or what? I don't know why he over-explains all of this shit. I genuinely hope anyone in VTubing space affected by James can get their money back. I had the misfortune of having to deal with him as a convention planner for local con that never saw past 1 year due to what issues he never cleared on. I left being an AA director. Apparently this man is trying to run said conventions, so Louisiana/Texas, Florida, and I think Arkansas. Convention goers and cons, please do not let this man in good faith table or revent your events. Sawacon or any businesses under James Wicks should not be supported. Due to personal stressors, no solid second year dates planned. I saw some weird shady business stuff with the AA and vendor table. Deposits refunds requests too, but assumed it wasn't much. Along with him trying to offer me a hangout when he's got the wife and kids. Shady as shit. Do you think the money is all gone? Probably not, but if it is, the guy is in a lot of trouble. Because he will get struck with some kind of legal action. He already probably is. Considering the VTubers that are involved in it said that they have legal representation and are moving forward with something. So he best have some fucking money to back himself up in court if it does come to a case. And I think it should, based on all of this stuff. Unless he refunds all of that shit and they decide to drop the issue. But considering how much this guy mismanaged, I think they would have some sort of case. But again, I'm not a lawyer. You should ask a lawyer about these sorts of things. But based on the amount of shit that he apparently has done, I think there would be a reason to have one. Sawacon staff always support one another through tough times. To challenge my relationship with my wife is unfounded and untrue. If fishes occurred between staff, we reached out and checked. Kettle events for staff, saw movies all together as staff, and an attempt to paint it an ill will has no grounds. My conversations with all that stuff led started with, how have you been? Especially when the start is conflict or bad situations, and just as sporadic as one may expect when the convention is in downtime. Especially during COVID and post-COVID 2022. Yes, it's hitting our friends and family good too. Streaming goes well and I'm about 20 followers from affiliate on Twitch, but I'm not streaming 2 days a week instead of 1, and geez, I'm sorry to hear. How have you been? Exhausted. Work had been grad opening at our location. Hope all is well and you and yours. Again, my condolences to your family. I appreciate it. Yeah, that does sound exhausting. Shifting out poster prints at the moment. Of course, it's always fun when work's busy. Any convention I was set to attend while with Tonari, but did not go to due to my termination. I had personally refunded my flight so as not to create conflict between the studio or the convention. There are many other statements made by VTubers, studio employees from other companies, etc. that will be addressed tomorrow, May 30th. If they weren't, because the guy decided to bail and leave one Twitter message, which I'm gonna read soon too. This is to include the allegation of spies, because I was sent the screenshot below by one person in Tonari's freelance server. The network abuse allegations, NDA comments, as well as the direct statements, the payments made that were claimed unmade. Extremely tiny fucking screenshot. Here it is, so we can read it too. I know typically people do not break these up, but with the swamp of chats, Twitter captures, etc., I just want to be clear. Part 2 to address Oiter, by the bell, etc., to be posted with conclusion May 30th evening. Nope, didn't happen. Didn't happen at all, and that was the end of it. Let's return to our document. And as I mentioned before, guy fucking leaked the song. He literally just leaked my song. LOL. Oh no. Anyway, stream love me not. All this, and now when he posted the document, the involved parties and others quote tweeted it too. All this effort in typing all this when we could have just spent this time cashing out that money you still owe me. Mind you, he said that he didn't owe Hannah anything at that point, so yep. Someone's lying. It's insane reading and knowing the amount of omitted information, blatant lies, and victim mentality it took to write all of this instead of paying any of us back. Oh, not this one. Since you decided to include me, even though I've been keeping things private, I was working with James from October 2022 to work on animation and assets for my 3rd anniversary. On April 13th, 2023, I was informed that everything was dropped. My anniversary was planned for May 7th. My initial deadline was end of 2022, but flexible. You told me you would provide a full refund and that it would be processed over the next few days. No refund. Still haven't been refunded. Last communication was at the end of April when I was promised a refund in 3 to 5 days. Yeah, he probably stole millions of dollars. He thinks that he's El Chapo. I wonder how much he stole based on his illustrious career. I hope he didn't steal as much as you're suggesting. But I do think he stole a lot more than what has been said here during this whole stream. So yeah, there's a grand reason why my anniversary stream was a 2-hour private karaoke while drinking. I had a lot planned. I'm sorry I couldn't deliver on it. God freaking damn. How many got actually scammed now? This is insanity. When he initially contacted me, he was employed by a legitimate anime studio. He had a documentation and context that seemed legitimate. He should have just started paying people back. But that aside, he should have just lawyered up instead of trying this document. I can't imagine how he think this would vindicate him. His lawyer has never once answered us or reached out to us. Probably left because he wasn't paid either. Yep. He mentioned me here as if he did no wrongdoing. His actions directly led to everyone on the team to exit my project and the studio. He doesn't realize that it's not just squared away because I got refunded, like everyone should be. I'd spend more time, triple the amount to get new assets to replace them in a tiny amount of time before my deadline. I still did not make the cut. It is impossible to replace a project like that with just a month's time. I was literally just lucky that one of the animators that knew what happened felt pity for me and put together a team that could do it. Even your best case scenario just fucked me over royally, cost me triple the amount and gave me an honorism right before my debut. And here's him also talking with Shizuko. You know, the panda VTuber that used to be a jellyfish VTuber for a short time. And here's the ironic thing, because he's talking about scammers. Hey Shizu, got a quick question if you have the time. Just kind of gathering some info on the situation with art, animation, etc. you VTubers have access to. Like if you're super busy. Hi, I'm sorry, I'm a little confused with the question. I guess it's whoever replies to us. I usually use Twitter since the scab is quite unreliable, but again, it just depends who replies versus who doesn't. Sorry, just waking up, had to pick up the CEO from the airport hella late, and he gave me new tasks immediately. LOL. So, so we're hearing from people who we work with, like Kuri, Girl DM, Teru, that commission animations, art, etc. is extremely difficult among VTubers, with lots of scams, people that ghost or just have super full schedules. Well, doesn't that sound familiar? I was wondering if you had a lot of experience stuff similar, or if getting stuff has been pretty easy. I think the best part of my section is how he screenshotted one 100th of our DMs and omitted how I routinely had to beg for my money to get any sort of response proof with dealing verbal abuse and tantrums, not to mention all the failed wire transfers and frozen tracking links. I've not seen a single sketch or work in progress to date, and not a single person from his studio had even heard of me, and this was in March of this year. I was just shocked as I was to hear there was even a client. So yeah, based on Bao's and others' statements here, omitted a lot of stuff, just included whatever he felt make him look good in that situation. So yeah, this is the end of this for right now, but he still has this one tweet which I'm gonna read. I didn't screenshot it, but he has it. So this is what it is. There will be no further information posted about this matter due to his multiple police responses to our home made on false calls. This matter is in the hands of the legal representation. That was his last message. And of course, it has almost 200 quote retweets right now because he, of course, logged replies to it. Let me have a quick drink. Since we are at the end of this, I'll catch up to the chat. You guys can have a 5-minute break with the intermission, and I'll be right back.
「レモンスカッシュ」「溶けた
And I'm back. So let's go over what happened again. Guy deflected, had a lapse of judgment because he wanted to commit suicide because things weren't working out for him in terms of managing other people's projects. According to Bao and other VTubers, he omitted a lot of stuff from the document where he was being an asshole, basically. Considering, you know, this is going into the legal legal territory for a lot of them, I think it's for the best that they don't release anything else and just leave it to the legal matters so they can sort themselves out. Because otherwise, this is gonna become a whole fucking mess on its own, and nobody wants that. He already did damage to himself by releasing that document, and again, if other VTubers, Bao and the crew, have their own receipts on this, they can easily deliver it as evidence to the court. Can be they can be admissible there, and all of that can be handled there. Anything else handled in public that's addition to this could probably just damage their cases. So yeah, let the lawyers lawyer basically at this point. But I personally, like from a personal standpoint, I would like to know what was in those other DMs. Too bad the girls didn't release them. Would be funny to read through them where the guy was an asshole. But yeah, like if we give him like the most credit, at best he's incompetent. At worst he's incompetent and malicious in his actions. Because again, getting that much money and mismanaging it so badly, then just pretending he's a good communicator, even though others are claiming that he just completely isn't, and just completely getting away with it. I don't know how the guy wants to exist within this space anymore. He was smart enough to I guess fake his credentials, or you know, at least stretch the truth on his credentials that and his contacts, so he looked just a little legitimate there. But he wasn't smart enough to just take the money and fucking run. Instead, he decided to fucking make a document that just made him look much worse in comparison to everything else. You really just have fucking run away. That would at least be the smart thing to do. But I do wonder if his actual name is James Wicks. If it is, then he's just fucked. You'd probably have to fucking run away outside of the country to avoid repercussions from this, or change his name somehow, legally change his name and just go incognito, or maybe come back under a different alias and do the same thing over and over again. But considering like the large content creators that he targeted this time around, you know, the ones that could actually give him a lot of money, I don't think he is gonna get away with something like this again, considering his notoriety right now. Again, the best thing he could do right now is just get the fuck out. But then again, I don't think that's that's not a possibility any longer. If all of this is known, if apparently his address is known, if his no, even when his family, the name of his family is known, I don't think he can run away from this anymore. So the guy fucked himself trying to fuck other people. But really, I just wanted to see the DMs where he was an asshole. Too bad we didn't get those. Instead, we got a guy throwing himself a pity party. Writing a document that's 35 pages long and didn't really say much other than he's incompetent at his job. But he's taking work from major clients that are paying him tens of thousands of dollars. And then he just cries about it. Oh, my work is so tough. And there's so many things that can happen, and my mental health has failed me. And I need to kill myself to escape responsibility. That's how it is. What a terrible thing. I've seen worse. I've seen worse in terms of scams, but this one is just kind of really on the nose. Could been worse. Do you think he's Brad Madoff of the VTuber community? That's his story is still not over. We'll have to wait and see. Then maybe he'll become that. I don't think there will be family to contact after this. He's clored and he likely disowned LMAO. I mean, I've seen a lot of people deflect a lot of things on their own family when they got in trouble. A certain content creator by the name of Coach Redpill comes to mind right now. He just kind of got in like this is a complete tangent and very unrelated to what we're talking about today. But the guy went to Ukraine during the war and basically spewed anti-Ukrainian propaganda, pro-Russian propaganda, and then he went to his family to hide out. So yeah, that's a pretty bad thing you can do when it comes to involving your family. Just, you know, make enemies out of a whole fucking country and go hide in the same country with your family. And then, when you're discovered where you're hiding, you you run away and leave your family to fend for themselves. So yeah, in terms of the shit you can unload on your family, that's probably one of the worst things you can do. So yeah, don't spew pro-Russian propaganda in Ukraine and then go hide with your fucking family in Ukraine, because they just may get killed by proxy based on what the fuck you're doing. So yeah, I've heard worse stories. This one's pretty fucking shit. Partially funny, could be funnier. Once again, I want those fucking DMs, but I'll never get them. I will not have my fun, sadly, chat. My fun has been denied to me today. So what's else with this? I don't think there's gonna be much else, because everyone is just gonna sit on this one. Let the lawyers do their thing, if the lawyers are indeed doing their thing, and then we maybe learn something of this much later, because, you know, court proceedings, cases like this can take fucking months, if not years. And if this is gonna be handled in the fucking United States, it's probably is gonna fucking take years to settle in any satisfactory fashion. I hope they get their money back. Tens of thousands of dollars on fucking lore videos and MVs. I understand MVs, lore videos, that's just my personal preference, but, you know, music videos, those can be pretty fucking fantastic to look at. And they can further some careers if you want to have a singing career as a VTuber, so I understand that. But once again, it's their money, you can spend it however they wish. I hope they just get it back. A lot of them aren't poor VTubers. They make thousands upon thousands of dollars. They make easy living of VTubing, but still, that amount of money, that's not a small loss to their finances, I'm sure. Let me read some chats. And then we can finish. An early finish would be good. You guys can go read hundreds of pages on my Twitter with the new Yakirisu fucking drama. And if you don't want to read it, let me sum it up for you. People were assholes to one another and they decided to air it out in public. A lot of that shit could have been handled in private, but you know, Twitter nowadays is used for that sort of thing. Instead of handling your issues with people like adults, you just pour it out into the open. And that's gonna be dressed up as, you know, spreading awareness over someone. But it is what it is. Go read these hundreds of tweets if you have nothing else to do in your life. I've read them pretty fucking fast. And a lot of it is nothing. Some of it is something. It's not as serious as the Bunny Ayu thing from a few months ago, but it's still something. That's probably the best way to describe it. It's something, but to a lot of people, it's nothing. But it's a big drama because a big VTuber is, well, a big content creator recently turned VTuber is involved in it. Also a cosplayer, so that's what you get. Did Bao take an L? The L I think Bao take on this one is only because she allowed the guy to do too much. But again, we didn't see all of their DMs, so there was probably a lot more to it. So it kind of, at least from his document, it looked like she gave him too much power and she gave him way too much time to do his shit and just completely get away with it. At least until a point. No, Bunny wasn't in new drama. A VTuber by the name of Yakirisu was part of the drama, but it's similar because the accusations are very similar, and what happened in the drama was similar. I don't want to do a stream about that because it would be just hours upon hours of reading conversations about nothing between like 2 and 3 people. Not very fun. That's why that one went on Twitter. It's a big drama, but it's also partially pointless depending on whose side you're taking on this. Because, you know, a lot of people go on Twitter and say, oh, it's not drama, it's just pointing out abuse. Don't cause don't call another person's abuse drama. I have a significant thing about that, and that is if it's dramatic and if it's a lot of people are losing their shit over it, to me it's drama. So it is what it is. You know, Henya had Golden Kappa last week. I saw the clips of that one. Didn't catch it live on stream, but yeah, I did see it. I wonder how many people actually do have the Golden Kappa. I'm not a Twitch viewer by any means, so I don't know. But I know the Golden Kappa is extremely rare, so very good on her. Especially since, you know, it's one of her first returning streams. She's been having many of those, which is understandable, considering how much of a break she's been taking before she returned as Kenya. It will probably cost more money to find them. They need to try for legal costs too. Yeah, that's also right. I don't know if they can have like a joint case on this one, because all of them have their own personal grievances and all of them lost, you know, significant amounts of money on this one. If they can have a joint suit, I don't know how this works, but if it could be handled like that, I don't know. Again, not a lawyer. I won't tell you the details because I just don't know. Why come news VTubers don't say retard when talking about VTuber retard drama? It sounds so soy when they say R word, because they don't want their videos demonetized. That's probably the only reason. The word retard alone won't get you like any significant strikes. It's just gonna get you demonetized. I personally don't give a fuck. It's gonna be retard there. It's gonna be retard here. There's gonna be retard everywhere, and I care little. Beforehand, I used the word exceptional instead of retard, but now I just don't care because YouTube's checking systems, even manually, sometimes they don't care, and most of my videos that aren't streams are monetized anyway, and if at some point they aren't going to be monetized, then won't matter anyway, because a lot of them already got the views that they needed to get, and them becoming demonetized is a nothing. It is a real nothing. Not to mention I do this shit for fun, so even if the YouTube channel goes away, I'm not really losing anything other than an avenue to have fun on. And banking your online career on something like a drama channel sounds like a very bad investment, and you probably shouldn't do it unless you have a significant plan that you know is gonna work out. And you know, how many years are VTubers gonna last anyway? How much can one monetize VTuber news / VTuber drama until it becomes stale and people just leave? Who the fuck knows? I certainly don't know. But I do think a lot of things on the internet have a very limited lifespan, and VTubers have lasted for a few years now. They may last another few years, but who knows how long this is gonna take for them to drop in relevancy on the internet. Maybe a bigger thing will come out that will replace VTubers in some fashion. We'll have to wait and see. But for right now, you have your VTubers and you have your Flesh tubers, which are, you know, just your regular live streamers. And that's gonna be it. I certainly hope VTubers go extinct sooner, because the amount of drama that's within the VTuber scene is so stupid. It's so stupid, and it's usually over nothing. If it's not over drawings, it's people canceling each other for petty grievances they have for personal reasons. What else is there? People pretending others have wronged them. People inventing stuff to get offended by, you know, the regular shit. Do you think Iron Mouse would ever show their face? I don't know. I can tell you. I know what she looks like, but you know, that's something you have to dig for. I won't tell you where to find that. Just look for yourself. Do you see the similar of Sam Bankman and James Wicks? Sam Bankman is worse, and he's funnier. Sam Bankman at least had fucking cocaine parties or whatever, and dated a woman that looks like a chipmunk. So Sam Bankman is much funnier than James Wicks is. At least Whole Life is doing fine amongst all the rats. Whole Life is doing just fine. I can say the same for Niji Sanji and Nicola. I personally hope for the total death of the internet, so everyone goes outside and rides a bicycle. That would be fun. Just go enjoy the fresh air, and if you don't have fresh air, if you live somewhere like I don't know, San Francisco, I guess. Then you're fucked. Then you don't have fresh air. Vishojo is doing better for sure. I think Kenya is a powerful addition to their roster. I wonder who else they're gonna add. They say they have major plans going forward in this year and the next one, so we'll see what they get. At Anime Expo, they'll probably announce new merch and likely also new people joining them. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, the stream has gone on for 2 hours, and I knew that it's not gonna be a long one. We covered what needed to be covered. Got a few laughs out of it. I hope the next one is gonna be funnier, because I need a good laugh. I need a good laugh over this annoying stuff. So I might prepare something that's been in the backlog that's on the funnier side. We'll see. Might do a poll on Twitter to see what you guys want to see. But yeah, I'm gonna peace out. I'm gonna do some stuff that I have on my own backlog. And you guys should go and buy System Shock 1. It's pretty fucking great. I'm not gonna be talking about video games, but you guys should go buy System Shock 1. It's fucking fantastic. Worth the wait. It's a bit buggy, but still amazing experience. But yeah, you guys take care of yourself. Stay hydrated. Don't die. Stay off Twitter because it's retarded. And peace out.